Welcome to US Home Talk here on ushometalk.com, on all your streaming platforms. We are producing shows every Wednesday, noon Central Standard Time. I'm your host, Mike Overson with Luminate Bank. With me on the show today, obviously no strangers, we got Jason Walgrave with Remax Advantage Plus and the Walgrave Real Estate Group, and we have Marcus Walgrave, Hegg Realtors, in Sioux Falls, South Dakota. Gentlemen, good to see you again.
Good to see you. It's been a while, but good to see you too.
It's been a little while. Good to see you. Marcus, your camera's all fuzzy. Why is your camera blurry?
It is fuzzy.
That's all blurry for some reason.
Looks pretty good on my end.
Huh.
Well,
no comment.
See you later.
You look better today, Marcus. You look better. Just kidding. There it goes. Now it's focusing a little bit.
Good. We're good.
Yeah, good enough.
Yeah, it's fine. All right, we are your resource for anything and everything real estate. So we're talking real estate, we're talking mortgages, we're going to be talking some interest rate forecasts today and the cost of waiting. But before we get to that, you can join us and be interactive with us. If you're on Facebook watching the live feed, you can do comments there if you want to. Otherwise, you can reach us at any time during the week at ushometalk.com. Connect with us directly there, or any of our partners that we have that are part of the show here. All right. We also have a real estate hotline number. Evan will scroll that at the bottom. You want to get a hold of us on our hotline. That number is 612-234-7585. Again, 612-234-7585. All right, let's jump into our topic today, interest rate forecast and the cost of waiting. So, I did a little research online here, went on the interweb to find out what some of the big players in the real estate game are saying about what their forecast is for mortgage rates coming up here. Now, before I get into that, I want to get your guys' thoughts on where you think interest rates are going to be coming up. So let's talk about 2026. Okay, let's talk about 2026, the average rate for a 30-year conventional fixed mortgage. What do you think it's going to be?
The average rate for the entire year, like
average rate.
So when the year is done, what did it average out to?
I think it'll average. Oh, man, 6.
Okay, 6. Marcus,
I'm gonna go 6th and an 8th.
6.
But with that said,
no, you can't change after now that I gave my.
I'm not changing it. But I still want to make sure that I'm clear. I think it's going to hit 5.5 on a 30-year conventional.
I'm sure Michael will get to that
At some point, 2026. That's okay. We've had this bet going for a while now, boys. Okay,
True.
so just you
and
said
you
the average.
Have not won it. And you still have not won the bet for a couple years now, but it's still going.
Technically, the first bet didn't identify conventional over VA. And VA did hit.
Here we go again. Evan, what do you think? Conventional 30-year fixed average for 2026? Because you're the obviously you are part of our show here, but you're not a real estate agent. You're not a loan officer. You are an insurance agent. But you're kind of outside of I guess the tripod we got here of real estate and mortgage guys. So what do you think?
I think that the average is pushed down by the fact that more people are waiting to buy and are putting more money down. So I'm actually going to go a little lower. I think it's like 5.9 something.
Ooh. That's what you're going to go for the average for 2026?
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, 5.95, just a hair under.
Okay. Very, very interesting. So the article that I found...
No. What do you think, Mortgage Mike? You're the mortgage guy. Your thought and prediction is more valuable because this is what you do every day.
If you would have asked me 6 months ago with this question,
we're
months ago,
asking today. Today we're asking you.
I would have said like 5.75. Now, with where we're at today, I'm thinking it's going to be closer to 6 and 8. That's what I think it's going to be. Yeah, the average for 2026. Now, the information I pulled here from places like Fannie Mae, Mortgage Bankers Association, Redfin, National Association of Home Builders, National Association of Realtors, and Wells Fargo.
I mean,
Okay.
are they really reliable sources? I don't know, but go ahead.
I don't know, right? But that's why you throw a lot in there, right? You don't go off one source, you go off several sources. So Fannie Mae is saying the 2026 average is 5.9%. Now they're saying 5.9% by the end of the year. So theirs isn't really like an average, it's saying end of year.
What was it? What was the end of year? Say it again, Mike.
5.9.
5.9.
5.9 at the end of 20. Yeah, that's probably
Mortgage
fair.
Bankers Association 6.4%.
Whoa.
Same as this year. So in 2025 Q4, the average 6.4%. They're saying the 2026 average is also going to be 6.4%.
Wow.
That's what they're thinking. Redfin is thinking 6.3%.
Okay.
National Association of Home Builders 6.19%.
Okay.
A little
National
lower.
Association of Realtors 6%,
Okay.
and Wells Fargo is
Way-
thinking
way lower.
6.23.
Wow. Huh.
So 5.9 to 6.4, right?
Yeah.
If you average all those out, you're looking at 6.25 basically.
6.25. Yep.
Okay. Now
I feel like
2027.
NER has been low these last couple years.
Yeah.
I feel like they've been a quarter point lower than what they actually end up playing out. So the six, a lot of 6.25s, huh?
Yep. Now if we look at 2027, okay, same companies looking at 2027 forecast. Fannie Mae 5.9%. So the same as 2026 of what they're predicting in 2026. They think that'll carry over into 2027. Mortgage Bankers Association 6.3%.
Whoa.
Redfin did not throw their hat in the ring for a 2027 forecast. National Association of Home Builders 6.01%.
Went lower.
NAR, so National Association of Realtors, did not throw their hat in the ring yet for 2027, so they had no deal there. Wells Fargo predicted it going up a little bit, so they said 6.23 in 2026, 6.3% in 2027.
A
Wow.
little bit.
Yep.
So interesting, right? Because if we look at,
Yep.
like I said, if we go back to even if we look like at our previous shows, we've spoken about this before, and we were all like fives all day long. 2026, we're going to be in the fives. It depends if it's going to be high fives or mid fives or whatever.
Not
Well,
Marcus.
Not Marcus.
Not Marcus.
So a lot of people were saying that, right? And that's just been kind of the narrative. It's kind of it's just kind of interesting to see like the big dogs, the national big dogs here talking about that, thinking that rates really aren't going to move that much, over the next 2 years, through 2026 and 2027, they're not going to move a whole lot as an average. Now you're going to get peaks and valleys. We all know that, right?
Yep.
So, but as the average steady Eddie, not moving a whole lot, which I think will surprise some people. I think a lot of people are banking on interest
Yep.
rates going down quite a bit lower. Lots of talks about maybe low fives sometime in 2026. I don't see it happening anymore.
How are the ARM products looking? I mean, I feel like there's got to be, like this huge need or demand from the public to have some really good ARM products, whether it's a 3-1 or a 5-1, because they're not really great right now. I mean, there's nothing out there that says, hey, I'm going to do a 5-1 ARM because it's a point less. So maybe that's the route. Maybe the route is the ARM product comes back, in full swing and has some really good opportunities for people.
So there's two sets of arms out there. There's your standard conventional arms. Okay. Those ones that go to Fannie and Freddie, like the standard conventional 30-year fixed and stuff like that. Okay. Those interest rates are the same or slightly higher than a 30-year fixed right now. Right. So it doesn't make any sense to do those.
No, right.
Now, some banks will portfolio arms in their in-house where they don't sell them to Fannie and Freddie. So those interest rates now are based off bank metrics. So if the bank that is going to hold that arm is paying out a lot in their checking and savings, so if they have like high yield savings going out, or if they got high yield going out on their CDs, their mortgage interest rate is going to be higher on those ones that they're going to hold on their books versus the banks that pay hardly anything out on their checking and savings and CDs, right? then they offer lower rates on those ARMs. So it really depends on what type of ARM you're talking about. Is it the standard conventional going to Fannie Freddie, or is there a bank out there that will actually hold that thing, and then the interest rate on that ARM is more based on the interior metrics of that particular bank?
Sure. Yeah, that makes sense. Makes sense.
So it leads me to the next point. Or you got a comment there, Marcus?
Yeah, I mean, just when we talk about these rates, right, and like, okay, well, if they are pretty similar to what they are today, all through 26 and 27, I mean, when I hear that, I think awesome. The reason why I think awesome is because if they are going to be what they were similar to what they played out in 2025 was a pretty stable market for real estate. Mm-hmm. We saw small gains in appreciation, healthy but small, and the economy was solid, throughout. There weren't any like crazy pickups or big drop offs, and if that's what some big players that will affect the rates in the upcoming years. I think that's to say says, hey, we got some, we may have some really stable years coming up in 26, 27.
Mm-hmm.
I would agree with that. Good. The consistency, the best thing that 2025 brought over 2024 was that consistency. Because in 2024, we did see rates hit 5.875. Mm-hmm. September of 2024. It lasted for about 2.5 to 3 weeks, and then it was gone. Mm-hmm. Then 8 weeks after that, they're back to 7, right? Yeah. But we did see that. But again, we had the peaks and valleys. We were as low as 5.75, 5.875. We were as high as 7.75 in 2024. Yeah. Right. You look at 2025, right?
Pretty consistent.
We were in the 7s early, right? But once we broke out of the 7s and now we got down into the mid to high 6s, we've been between basically 6 and 6.75 for almost the entire year. Yeah. And it's that consistency that has certainly helped people because, I mean, think if you're a home buyer out there shopping and I say, hey, great news, rates are at, 5.875 right now. You qualify for a $400,000 loan. And you go out there, look, you don't find a house. Let's say it's 2 months down the road. You finally find the house that you want, and they come back and be like, hey, we found this $400,000 house. Hey, rates are at 7.75. You only qualify for 350 now or 325.
Yep. That sucks.
And then that's just like a rate example, right, Mike? I mean, and then let's say, year to date in the Sioux Empire, the Sioux Falls, South Dakota area, the area that I service, year to date, we're probably going to be like 2.5% increase in appreciation for homes from year over year. So to then your point again, like if you went out looking and you struck out for the first 2-3 months, new inventory hits the market. Well, the new inventory, it might be a little bit more expensive, but it's a little bit more expensive. It isn't like, holy buckets, that house that we saw last year that was 3,000 square feet, it's $50,000 more, and it's just 6 months later. Like they're not seeing that either. So the rates are the same. The prices are just barely a bit more higher, and buyers are like, yeah, let's rock and roll.
Yeah, that's a great point because a 1% change in interest rate is 10% of your buying power, either plus or minus, right? And so the rate goes up a point, you got 10% less buying power. It goes down a point, you got 10% more, which is not likely going to happen. So that's a great point, Marcus.
Yeah, so the consistency, so that's the nice thing that 2025 brought was that consistency in interest rates, so people could bank on that. Hey, if I don't find a house for 2 or 3 months, that's okay, right? You're not gonna find the house in your price range 2 months from now, and all of a sudden your payment's $250 higher because interest rates spiked on you. And I feel that it's going to be the same 2026. I think it's going to be kind of a boring, flat interest rate market, which I will take that over the roller coaster all day long, right? So, okay, so we're going to talk about the cost of waiting then coming up here. But before we get to that, we're going to hit a legal minute.
All right.
Jeff O'Brien, attorney with Hush Blackwell with the U.S. Home Talk Legal Minute. Self-directed real estate investing works best when it is done through a limited liability company, or LLC for short, funded by IRA funds. A qualified attorney sets up the LLC. The custodian signs the contribution agreement on behalf of the IRA, which is the owner of the LLC. Use of an LLC allows a separate bank account to be created and IRA funds to be deposited into the account. The LLC manager then can write checks for expenses related to the properties and deposit rent checks and the like. This structure is commonly known as checkbook control control, as use of the LLC form provides the IRA owner with direct control over the IRA funds via the LLC bank account. The process for establishing a checkbook control IRA LLC is similar to the process for establishing any other type of LLC. However, there are some slight differences related to the contribution agreement. Given that the IRA is the member of the LLC, the third-party administrator signs the contribution agreement as the member. Also, the specific dollar amount of the contribution the IRA is making to the LLC must appear within the agreement. In the event that IRA funds are used to acquire only a partial membership interest, it is essential that the respective membership interests issued be directly proportionate to the amount of each member's capital contribution, both in financial rights and governance rights. Any agreement to allocate such rights on something other than a proportionate basis, as is permitted by most, if not all, state LLC statutes, is not permissible where IRA funds are used to acquire a membership interest. This is Jeff O'Brien, attorney with Hush Blackwell with the U.S. Home Talk Legal Minute.
You guys follow that?
Not really.
I didn't either. I was listening to him like I followed it for a hot second there, and then it's like, okay, that's over my head.
But that's why we have Jeff.
That's why we have Jeff.
We don't need
Exactly.
to understand it. Just call Jeff.
Exactly. All right, perfect. So let's talk about the cost of waiting, right? So some people are like, oh, we're waiting for rates to go down, whatever their reason is for waiting to buy a home. So let's talk about that cost of waiting, because we obviously run into this quite a bit. So let's say you got a home price in 2025 at $500,000. Okay, that's the cost of the house that you want to buy. This cost, I think we can all be in agreement that cost in 2026 will go up to about $520,000 due to the appreciation and stuff like that. Does that seem reasonable?
Yeah, I think so. Yep.
Okay.
Yeah,
So that's
especially in that price range. That seems to be a more people are trying to buy homes in there, so there's a little bit of higher demand. So I
Correct.
think that's definitely fair.
Yep. Okay. And the average rate, let's just say the average rate in 2025 was 6.5. So because that's why I ran my numbers off of 6.5. And let's say the average rate in 2026 is going to be 6%, which who knows? Might be 6.25, might be 5.9, might be 6.75 for all we know, right? We don't know. We can't predict the future. So if you're going to buy a house basically today at today's interest rates with 10% down, this $500,000 house, so that's a $450 loan amount at 6.5%, your payment is $2,844. Okay, so let's say you want to wait. You want to wait for 2026 to come around. Now you're going to pay $520 for that house. So with the same 10% down payment, your loan amount is now $468. So $468, and let's say interest rates are lower. Let's say they're at 6% at that point. Your monthly payment is $2,805.
Wow.
So it went from $2,844 to $2,805. It saved you $39.
Yeah, $39. Yeah.
Okay. But now let's say what happens if rates only go to 6.25. So now you waited, right, to buy that house. You're still paying $520 for it next year versus $500 now, and rates only got down to 6.25.
Yep.
Well, now your monthly payment on that house is $2,881 versus if you would have bought it today, $2,844.
Yep. I think the biggest thing is is that you can refinance if the rates go low, right? And so it's like you can't undo the price you paid for the house. And
That'd be nice.
Yeah, well, I think I want a
Hey,
different
seller,
price.
say, can I get 50
I want
grand
the
back,
price
please?
from the 3 years ago price. Can I have that price? So I mean, those are great examples. I mean, it just, we talk about it's a significant cost to wait, and it, looking at all the historical data on appreciation and rates and all of it, it's costly to wait.
And playing the whole rate game, I'll buy a house when rates hit this level. That has worked once out of every 100 times, right?
Yep.
99 out of 100 times that fails. You end up paying more. It ends up being worse for you. One time out of 100, it actually works. And it's like, oh, yeah, I told you so, right? Well, the other 99 people that did the same thing just lost, right?
Yep.
Kind of like a casino,
Yes.
right?
Yep. Odds are on the house.
That's right. So, if people were predicting rates to go down quite a bit, I could see maybe people waiting, right? I could see people waiting for that. It's just with the interest rate predictions that we covered, it's pretty clear that no one thinks rates are going to go anywhere significantly lower. So it makes zero sense to wait if you're in the market to buy right now.
Yep. Agree. 100%. Let's go.
Yeah, I mean, a couple things I think you can look at if this is a topic that really interests you, and I mean, you can keep your eyes on the job reports that the Bureau of Labor Statistics puts out. monthly. Yeah, obviously we missed ours in October because of the shutdown. But they're going to kind of give you a good idea of like where the unemployment rate is at. And then the other thing, probably the other big player is inflation, right? They talked about the job reports, and there's maybe prior to the reports coming out, there was maybe some thoughts that there wasn't going to be a cut, Federal Reserve cut here in December, but now it's like, hey, it kind of looks like there's going to be, and so those are some key reports that you guys can keep an eye on, and they come out every month, and so some easy information to see what's going on with everything, and I think and you kind of look at it, right, like if our unemployment is still at historic lows. It's at historical lows, and it seems like they got a handle on inflation. The inflation was the big problem a couple of years back, and has been kind of hiding and lurking around and not really going away. And it just seems like if that inflation piece can be controlled and the job reports are still looking good, unemployment's good, it makes sense that we're going to see the stability.
Yep, I agree.
100%. Great job, Marcus. I like your commentary. Bam. All right, folks. We appreciate you listening in today. We'll be back next week with another show. On behalf of Jason Walgrave and Marcus Walgrave, I'm Mike Overson. We'll see you next week.